Hey everyone, it's Michelle. Welcome back to the channel. And in case you're new here, the channel is called Shells, Bits, and Pieces, where you'll find a little bit of everything all in one place. How's everybody doing today? Happy Wednesday. Welcome back. This is our third episode in our series of Craft and Chat Wednesdays. And I kind of wanted to come on today and do a quick little ephemera type craft using rubber stamps and ink and chat about what's been going on. So first up, I would like to say thank you so much to the new subscribers that have just started watching the channel and have subscribed. I really appreciate you finding me and joining our journey of fun and exciting things, as I like to say. But yeah, it's been a very hectic, busy week. As you guys know, I won my first storage unit auction the other day, and found some really cool stuff. And if you haven't watched the video, I'll link it below so you can take a look. I found some really cool stuff that I need to get working on listing them, sorry. And see if I can make my $10 back. Also, we've been moving a lot of rocks around. My two sons have been busting their butts to get a big pile of rocks moved out of my yard, and we were successful. The last dumpster load is ready to go, and hopefully they come and get that in the next day or two. I'll pop some pictures in of before and after so you can see what they did. And then we started another project yesterday of pulling up some old indoor-outdoor carpet off of my front porch, only to find that there's probably 20 layers of paint from the last 100 years that somebody, I guess, just decided they didn't want to deal with, so they covered it up with carpet. And the glue that they used was almost impossible, but we did get the majority, maybe just a tiny little square of the carpet up. Now we have to get some stripper and strip it down to the bare concrete, clean it good, and then I may just paint it a different color. So that's a new project that's up and coming, and I'll kind of keep you in the loop on how we do with that. But today is Craft and Chat Wednesday, so while we craft, we'll continue to chat. And today's project I thought would be kind of neat to work on. It's cute little pieces of ephemera that I just made from rubber stamps and craft cardstock. So let's just jump right in and I'll tell you what you're going to need. And mind you, if you don't have these items, don't fret. You can use pretty much anything that you have. If you have rubber stamps, like I have a somewhat decent sized collection of rubber stamps, and they're fairly small. You're gonna need ink, and I do have quite a bit of ink here. And we'll choose the best colors, but these two are really cool, and I'll show you why here in a minute. You will need, I don't even know, cardstock or paper. So it's a pretty easy project. Like I said, don't run out and buy things that you don't have if you don't want to. It's not, I don't recommend going out and spending money that you don't have on things that you don't need. I happened to just have some kind of crisis last year where I was really into buying a lot of crafting supplies, and I was working at the time, so it was okay, but now I have all this stuff and I just need to use it. So that's what we're gonna do today. All right. You will also need some sort of block for your stamps, unless they are on like the pre-made wooden ones, the old style. So I have like a little acrylic block to put the stamps on, and I'll show you how to do that here in just a second. So yes, this week has been very hectic and busy, and I'm very sore from all the physical labor we've been doing. I was told by my sons I probably shouldn't be doing the physical labor and to leave it up to them, but I'm just one of those people. I can't not work. I have to be doing something. So now that I'm not gainfully employed by somebody, I'm doing things my way now, and I'm trying my hand at taking a chance on the things that I'm capable of and the things that I want to do. And so I'm trying to build my channel, as you guys know, and I'm also working on building my resale business and taking it to the next level. I have been in the resale business, I guess, for lack of a better term, for quite some time. I think my first sale on eBay was in 2002. And it just kind of skyrocketed from there. And I'll tell you a little story about how I decided that eBay was going to be something wonderful for me. And so far over the last 20 something years, it's been okay. I've only dabbled. I haven't done it as a full-time business. Don't mind this. This is my center point, so I know where to stay so you guys can see me, because I keep somehow drifting off camera and then coming back and you don't see what I'm doing. So I want to make sure I have a mark so that you guys know what we're working on. But yeah, when I started doing eBay a few years back, 22 years back, my first sale was kind of a fluke, I think. I had found this really cool decanter in a Goodwill store, just a regular retail outlet store, and it was older. It looked like it probably could have been from the 1950s, and it was a decanter, like a I don't know if you would put juice in it, but maybe coffee or water or something. But it was interesting because it had a very faint image of a logo from an old, I think it was football team called the Baltimore Colts. And I don't know much about football or sports, and I do apologize if I'm misrepresenting the name of the team, but I do think I remember it being the Baltimore Colts. And I put it on eBay for auction. I think I paid $2.60 after tax for this item and put it on eBay, and I wound up selling it for $189. And that just kind of blew my mind. But when I found out the story behind why I sold it for that, it was even more heartwarming and touching, and I'll share that with you. The person that was bidding on it was bidding against his friend who was a collector of memorabilia for the Baltimore Colts. And he told me that if the guy asked about it, you know, just to make up something, but he was bidding against him to buy it for his friend as a birthday gift. And I thought that was like the neatest thing because, you know, people today kind of tend to forget about, you know, compassion for other human beings. And I just thought that this was the nicest thing that somebody could have done for somebody else. And so I made sure that the guy that was bidding against his friend won it, and it ended up being a really great surprise for the guy, and I hope he still has it. So with that, let's just jump right in. We'll kind of get past our initial stuff, and yeah, so. All right, so what I'm going to do first is I'm going to work on the background, because I don't know if you can see this one in particular. But do you see how it's got some little coffee stain stuff? Well, I have these coffee stain stamps or splatter stamps that we're going to start with. So what you're going to need is you're going to need to pick a couple of different designs. And if you give me just a second, I'm going to shut this window because these birds out here, boy, it's springtime. They're just going crazy. Hopefully that's not as loud. I do love springtime and I do love the birds, but they get a little monotonous after a while. All right, so let's pick out a stamp and see which one we like. Okay, so let's see here. I want to pick a couple of different ones because what we're going to do is we're going to start stamping on the background of this paper. And from there, we're going to stamp other stuff, and then we'll cut them out. So I don't know which one I like the best, so I'm going to pick a couple of different ones, and we'll just stamp the images directly on the cardstock paper. I don't know what that is. All right, that one. This one. What about one of these splats? I like that one. I think that one's good. And if you don't have these, you could certainly take any coffee or tea and a cup, any size cup. You could do large, you could do small, you could do the cap off of something if you wanted something smaller, and just dip it in the coffee and then, you know, pop it on here, and you won't even need to worry about rubber stamping because you'll have made your own cool design. So these just go on here, just like that. This one did have lines on it. It still sort of has remnants of lines, but not too much is visible anymore. And I think it was because I was putting the stamp on the wrong side. Yeah, you know, silly me. But today I have some Tim Holtz Distress ink made by Ranger, and I have Rusty Hinge. And I also have Wild Honey. And we have our usual vintage photo. I've got Gathered Twigs. I've got Walnut Stain. So we have a variety of different colors that we can work with. Where's my Walnut Stain? Here it is. All right. Oh, this is vintage photo, and this is Walnut Stain. I'll get it together, but you want a couple of different colors so that you can kind of do an interesting background. And the beauty part of these is the ink comes right off the stamps, and you don't have to worry about any bleed through or bleed over. And you just want to ink up your stamp and then just go to plopping. And it doesn't have to be in any order. And you can overlap just like that. And we'll do a couple of different designs so that it's a little different. We don't want the same design all over everything. And we can do different colors too. We got Wild Honey. That was Rusty Hinge that I just did this color in. We'll try the Wild Honey on a different one. And just do some stamping randomly. And sometimes if you don't re-ink it, whoops, it's real life crafting, guys. You'll get a little bit of a light image. Just really depends on what you're looking for. And it's okay if it's not perfect. It's not meant to be perfect. And you can do a couple of just whatever you want. It doesn't, there's no rhyme or reason. I like to do a variety of colors just to give it some interest and a little bit of texture. And then we'll do one more, and then we'll move on to the images, and we'll start with those. Yeah, so like I said, it's been a really interesting, busy week. I never expected that I would win that storage auction for $10. That just kind of blew my mind. And then when I got there, I realized that I should probably own a truck. Thankfully, my son came and helped. And he does have a truck, but you know, we were done clearing that unit out outside of 2.5 hours. And it was interesting. We did find some things that, you know, I was a little concerned with, but we did dispose of them and moved on. And yeah, I did find some cool stuff. Found a lot of clothes, some that I believe I can resell and make a profit on, and that's my goal. But other things that I found in there, I probably won't list on eBay or Etsy or Marketplace or anything like that. Or Mercari, probably go on Marketplace. I found a big Casio keyboard that works. It's a little dirty, it needs to be cleaned. And I found some other big stuff that I'll probably list on either Craigslist or Let Go or Marketplace. It just really depends. Marketplace is getting kind of convoluted. Let Go, I actually have done pretty good on in the past, and I just haven't listed anything recently. So not 100% on that just yet, but you know, as time goes by, I'll figure it out. All right, so what I want to do next is I want to take these shapes and kind of just do them not randomly, but maybe in lines so that they're easier to cut, because you'll want to do these first before you do anything else, because you want to make sure that you have an image that fits inside the little frame. So that's why I had bought these. I had seen, like I said, somebody a while back make these, and I saw something similar to these. I don't think it was these exact ones, because these have weird little things around them. I don't know. So we're probably not going to use too many of those, but we'll use some. And I just thought it was a neat project and I liked it. And yeah, so here we are. Other than the work around the house and winning the storage auction, things have been fairly quiet here. We're just watching spring appear. The leaves are starting to sprout on the trees, and it's been nice to see the grass start to grow back, considering it's been just a really, really cold winter here in Colorado. And so what you want to do is just stamp, and we're going to do a line. We're going to do rows of different ones, so you can see how we do this. And if you wanted to mix it up a little bit and conserve the paper, you could do that. I'm not really going to worry too much about that. And this color I'm using is a Ranger Distress Ink color in Black Soot, because I think the black shows up a lot better, and I like the muted splatters, so we're going to use Black Soot as our, oops, that's okay, I got a little crazy right here. That's okay though, because you won't even notice it once we get the rest of it in there. We want it to be grungy and kind of rough, because when we're making our ephemera, it shouldn't be absolutely perfect. It should have some character, and I'm all about character. So let's just get through this. I'll go ahead and do a couple more, and then I will finish the sheet with just the basic frames, and then we'll come back and we'll pop on some other ones, and we'll go from there. All right, so we have got all of our stamping done. Yeah, I have a little spot up here that I didn't stamp, but I wanted to show you what the full page looks like before we start finding our smaller images, excuse me, to stamp in the little frames. And it's always best to start with the frames, like I said, because then you'll have a better idea of what will fit and what won't fit. And if you're so inclined, you don't necessarily have to fit your stuff inside the frame. I just thought that for this particular project, it just made it really cute, little mini tag ephemera that you can just pop in anywhere on any journal page. And one day we will make a journal together, and we'll use some of the stuff that we're making along the way. So let's just find some cute little images that we can pop in here. Now, mind you, I do have a different selection and array of stuff. Some of these things might be too big, clearly, but others might not be. I do have a smaller one here. It says day ticket. I've got some other stuff here. Those will probably work. So we'll just kind of thumb through these and see what we can find. And they don't necessarily have to be these. You can do anything you like. I do have a pretty little butterfly that we could probably pop into one, and this is just a design. I had gotten this particular rubber stamp kit off of Amazon, and I don't remember how much I paid for it, but I think that there were, gosh, I don't even remember. It might have been all of these except for this one. It might have been 5 sheets, maybe for $8 or $10. I know they were really inexpensive buying them on Amazon, so I'll see if I can figure it out, and I'll link it in the bottom if I can find which ones I got, and then that way you'll have the set. All right, so let's see. I think I want to go with some of these first, and we'll pop them in just in random places. And you can do them in whatever ink color you like. Since I did the frames in black, I'll probably do like I did here with the actual images in black. So let's just start with that. And I do have a bigger stamp pad. This is an archival ink pad from Ranger that I had found in the bins a while back, and it was wrapped in its original plastic. So it was brand new, and somebody just tossed it to the bins. Well, they tossed it to Goodwill and then it ended up in the bins. But these go for like $15, I think, brand new in the store. So I got a really good deal on it since I bought it in the bins. And yeah, I've had it for a little while. Yeah, so you could use archival ink, you could use water-based ink. Archival ink is permanent. That's the only difference, and it's harder to get off your stamps. So if you want something that's easier to get off your stamps, find a water-based one like the Distress ink. That'd probably be best for this project. So, let's see. Oh yeah, I was over here. I've got too many things going on in my brain again, guys, but I'm trying to slow down a little bit and, you know, get back to quality versus quantity, although these last couple of weeks have been quantity versus quality, just to, you know, get things done. And I want to kind of take a step back and slow down a little bit. But it's not in my nature to do that because I'm not really a high-strung person per se, but I do tend to get in a hurry sometimes, and that's not always the best. So yeah. So I think when we do these, see this one I actually believe that I used 2 separate stamps on as opposed to just one. Now I just have to find the other one. It should be here somewhere. There was one with a little dot thing on it, had the number, and then it said Paris. I think I had used 2 stamps, so I don't know if I can find that, but I do have the Paris right here. So let's see what this will do for us. And you know, we can go back and forth as needed. And I'll only do some of these. I won't do all of these right now because it will take time to cut them all out and whatnot. But I do want to kind of give you an idea of what I did. So you just ink up your stamp, and I think we'll start up here. Move this down so you guys can see it, and I'll even zoom in. And you see how that those splatter backgrounds just add something to these. So we can say Paris right here. Very nice, very simple, easy, and you don't have to get, oh, what's the word? It doesn't have to be a complicated process. It's just something to kind of fill some time if you have time. And yeah, so I did 2. Sorry, let me back you up. Yep, here's my mess. Oh, look, you can see everything now. See, I just did that one and this one. I don't like that. I think we're going to come in closer. Let's get a little closer. So, I don't know. Have you guys had a really good week? Are you enjoying spring where you live? I know that it's probably not spring on the other side of the world. I think it's probably autumn now, based on what I know about opposites and you know, the seasons around the world. Our season is spring right now, but I believe Australia and places on that side, Japan, are probably experiencing fall or autumn. And I don't know, I never realized that was a thing. Yeah, I just never knew. So I just did this one, and of course you can't see it because I didn't do it on camera. But I did that one, and this one. And then maybe I'll do a couple of squares too, like, ooh, I like this one, and I like this one. So we'll do these 2. Oh, and this one. Look at how beautifully splattered that is. Oh, I just love it. Yeah, so I'm not sure how many more of these craft and chats I'm going to do. I'm not getting the traction that I wanted, but maybe I could do at least a few more to kind of, you know, make it look like the series is actually a series. But yeah, I'm really trying hard to grow the channel, and the only way I can do that is through people commenting, sharing, liking, and subscribing. So if you have not done so and you like my content, please consider subscribing. It would help me out a lot, as I'm trying to build this channel into something fabulous, and I can't do it alone. So just take a second, hit that subscribe button, and you'll be all set. And if you hit the bell, you'll be notified when new videos come out as well. So that's just my 2 cents. But also I've tried something new, and I don't know if you guys have seen it in my links, but it's called Buy Me a Coffee. And that is completely optional. I don't expect anybody to jump on that, but that just kind of helps to offset some of the costs that I do have regarding this channel. You know, I don't have a lot going on right now as far as income generation. I am doing Instacart, and I'm trying to, like I said, I'm trying to build the channel. Yeah. So any little extra would be wonderful. And as I build the channel, I will do more to help amplify it or bump it up. And I'm not loving these, so we're gonna try something different. I don't know why I chose those. I do like the Paris one though. The Paris one's cool. Let's see if we can do something with this one, and then we'll just kind of wrap things up. I'll show you how to cut them out. Now they do have to be fussy cut, which is just a fancy word for cutting it by hand. I don't know who came up with that. So I've got some interesting ones here. I really like these. I don't know why I like these so much, but they're just like wavy lines, and they're the lines that you would see if you had sent something and it, oh, what's the word? Canceled out your stamp. That's what the word is. That's what the word is. Yeah, so let's see if we can put this somewhere. I don't know that we can fit it here. We need something thin for here, so I'll have to go back through and see why I can't find my stamps. But you can use these for a variety of things. They can be tucked into pockets. They can be glued onto pages. You can make tags with these. They're just very versatile, little, super simple ephemera pieces that, you know, like I said, you can use them for pretty much anything. It's just a matter of finding what you like and popping it in there. And I really would like to work on a, ooh, how about this one? It fits right in there. I would like to work on creating a new journal. I have a couple that I started over the years, and I really should think about what I'm going to do with them before I create new ones. But I have this really bad habit of starting stuff and then not finishing it, and I wonder why my kids do that. Because I do it. And the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. But anyway, let's see if that'll fit right in there. Please, please, please. And there we go. And it's just a cute little splatter. It says airmail. You know, I love these little ephemera pieces because you can have them in a little container at the ready. And I have this cute little container here with some pieces in it. Yeah, that just, you can do whatever. And these actually, did I pick the right ones? No. These I used craft that is self-adhesive on the back. That's what these are. That's what all of these are actually. So yeah, you just keep them at the ready and they're all ready to go. All right, so we've made a few. Let's do a couple more and then we'll start cutting them out. And like I said, you don't have to use these types of images. If you have, you know, cute little flowers or butterflies or bugs or whatever, you can use whatever you have. And that's why I like crafting so much, because it's not something that you have to go out and spend money on unless you want to. If you have some things, you can utilize them in certain ways and get decent results. So we're going to try this little butterfly. I thought he was cute, and I think he'll go in one of these, maybe here. Actually, I think I'm going to change my ink color. Let's do that for the butterfly. Let's make him light and airy and whatever. You guys, I've just been so tired with all the work we've been doing lately. It's like I'm busier now than I was when I actually was working for somebody. I'm not making the money I used to. But, you know, for the peace of mind and my sanity, this is actually not horrible. It's just different, you know? And, oh, nope, not sure I like that. Maybe we'll pop him up here. Maybe he's bigger and will fit in here. We can do him like kind of off center. Let's see. I mean, they don't have to be perfect at all. All right, let's try this one. I'm gonna put him like this on the side, like he's flying away. Yeah, I'm not sure I like those. They're just, you know, crafting is what it is. Let's see if we can find something better. I know I've got more. Oh yeah, all the good stuff's back here. It's all hiding. So I have these. I want to use some of these because these have numbers and just different little things. There's the one I was looking for. That's the one. Okay. And it's fun because you can do these too. Why don't we do a big chunky number in one of these? Like, how about over here? See, I have some of these long ones that I did. You can do a number, like a number 1. Let's try that and see how that looks. These numbers are part of the set that I got as well, and they're just kind of like they look like broken rocks or something. I don't know. Interesting. All right, so we'll go back to the black one. Yeah, so I think that I've caught up with you guys on all the stuff that's been happening. You know, to recap, we've been working on removing rocks from our yard, and we pulled yucky old 100-year-old carpet off of the porch, and we're gonna clean that up and clear that off. The carpet ended up going in the dumpster, even though the dumpster guy said don't put it in there because we have a bunch of rocks. But you know what? I'm paying for the dumpster, so I'll put the rug in there if I want to. It didn't really weigh much. It was that indoor outdoor stuff. Yeah, so I don't know. I am just going to live my best life. Not sure I like that, but the background of it is interesting enough to where we could go over it a couple of times, like that, and we could actually pop something else on there. So that's different. Yeah, so that's really all that's been going on with me. I'm not going to look for another job just yet. I'm still trying to figure out what's best for me, and yeah, go from there. All right, so let's do a couple more and see if we can come up with something we really like, and then we'll cut them out and that'll wrap things up. Let's see here. So this one has some interesting stuff. Very vintagey. This one was made in China. This one's called Number Paper Card. Don't know what that means, but we're gonna pull out some of these and pop them in here randomly. If I can get it open. And then I have to put them all back where they came from. That'll be fun. But you wanna make sure, though, when you're finished stamping, that you clean your stamps off really good. And like I said, if you have a solvent-based ink versus a water-based ink, make sure that you clean it appropriately. This one is harder to get off. I found that even rubbing alcohol, pure rubbing alcohol, doesn't get it off completely, but it will stain your stamp, but it doesn't bleed into your next project. It kind of just goes in there, which is okay. But if you're looking for something that's easier to clean up, use the Distress ink. It's water-based. It will come off a whole lot easier and it won't stain your stamps. So with that, this one's gonna need to be cleaned. But I thought that we could use maybe the word ticket, because the word ticket is always fun and it can go on here like that. Gosh, I'm still not in frame. I don't know why. So the word ticket will pop on that one. We did the number 1 here. Not really a fan, not sure if I like it, but it doesn't matter because even ephemera is not perfect. So let's just do some stamping in silence because, you know, even though it's Craft and Chat Wednesday, we can still have some peaceful moments. Maybe I'll even put some music here. This is Gathered Twigs. It's kind of a light brown color. I think we're going to move on to the Walnut Stain and see if that does any better. The word ticket is cool. So let's see. So the Walnut Stain versus the Gathered Twigs. I'm not sure. I think I like this one better, but that one didn't turn out so good. And I didn't get a good enough stamp on this one. But, you know, for ephemera pieces, these will be okay. Excuse me. All right, so we're just going to go back to the black ink. Yeah, so like spring has sprung here in Colorado. It's just... everything is turning green now from it being so dead and brown from winter, fall and winter. And yeah, so it's starting to look a little bit more seasonal outside. The weather's warmer. We've had some really nice days. The other day though, it was really cold and rainy, and I think it might have snowed in the higher country. I'm not as highly elevated where we're located as other places in the state, but for some reason I can't walk and chew gum at the same time. There we go. Look, a good one. I mean, some of these aren't bad, and you know, once we cut them out, they'll be cute and ready to go. And that's what I like about this idea is, you know, you're mass making something so that when you do start working on your journals, you'll have your supplies readily available, and you don't have to really think about, oh my gosh, I need to make something. I don't have anything, because you will have already made it. So we'll just do a couple more and then we'll start cutting out. I like this one. It says tag number. I don't know if you can see that. There it is. Look at that. And we'll put that here. No, you can't see me there. But you know, we could go over these butterflies because nobody knows that we screwed that up except you and me. That's okay. Let's do it on the other one too, right here. We'll do this one at the top, and then we'll just put numbers on these and nobody will know the difference. That's why I love crafting, you guys. It's one of those things that if you make a mistake, you know you did it, but nobody else did if you don't tell them. All right, so let's get these numbers on here. We've got that one. Oh, look, isn't that cute? And, you know, we could go over that butterfly again if we wanted to, but we don't have to. It's whatever you want it to be. And today I don't know, I'm very tired with all the physical labor we've been doing lately. It's just been, it's been different, that's for sure. Okay guys, so my battery died, so I went ahead and stamped a few more of these, and I thought that now that we have the majority of them stamped, we can just go ahead and start cutting them out. And really, the easiest way to do this, if you have a paper cutter, you could do that, or you could use scissors. What I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna take my handy dandy Recollections paper cutter that I've had for years and just start cutting into strips, and then we'll fussy cut around the edges of each individual. And then, hey, look at that, I didn't even mess it up. Usually I mess them up pretty good. Yeah, so my battery died, and I don't know how much battery life I have now because I did charge it for a little while I was watching another YouTube video. And yeah, we'll see how it goes. So let's cut another strip. We'll only cut a few, you guys will get the picture. This one I actually had a stamp that was bigger than the frame, so we're gonna cut around this, and we'll only see what's inside the frame. So when I cut this, don't be afraid. Well, actually be afraid, because down here this one kind of goes over my edge. So I think I will cut to about here and then hand cut the rest, if that makes sense. And I was watching, like I said, I was watching a video of a YouTuber that I like. His name is Nate, and his YouTube channel is called Paging Mr. Morrow. And he is a Disney influencer. And for those of you who know me, you know that I'm a Disney fanatic, and I really love Disney World. And he lives in Orlando and has made his career out of vlogging around Disney World. And he does travel. He does go to places like New York City, and he just got back from a trip to Japan where he visited Tokyo Disneyland. And he's just a really just a happy, jovial kind of guy. He's very just jubilant and bubbly. Just a really cool guy to watch. I really like him. So if you're interested, his YouTube channel is called Paging Mr. Morrow, M-O-R-R-O-W, kind of like that little quip on the people mover at the Magic Kingdom at Disney World in Florida. They are paging Mr. Morrow, Mr. Tom Morrow, tomorrow. So anyway, what we'll do now is we're going to cut these out, and then we can ink them if we want, or just leave them plain, and then we'll have cute little pieces of ephemera to use on future journaling projects. And it's pretty easy, and I really like this splatter, so I think probably going to keep that just because it's a cool splatter. Yeah. So let's just cut this off of here. We'll fussy cut around the edges. And I don't know if you guys like to do just easy crafts that just kind of are kind of quiet crafts where you don't have to do a whole lot of thinking or talking. You just kind of sit and do them. And I am not the greatest fussy cutter in the world. I used to be pretty good at cutting, but as I've gotten older and my eyesight has just gotten away from me. It's not perfect, but there you go. So there's one, and I'll continue to cut these out. But I want to thank you guys for joining me today. I know the video seems a little short. I've just been so busy lately that it's just been hard for me to think about what I want to do with you guys as far as the crafts go. And then, you know, I think I've caught you up on everything as far as what's going on lately. Yeah, see, I just messed that up. That's okay though, because no one will notice, especially if I just go ahead and trim around the other side. Or we can just cut the corners like this. And it's done. It's fixed. Because, you know, you can tuck these into little pockets. You can glue them, you can add them to clusters, and I think that maybe we'll start learning how to make clusters too. I haven't ever made any before, but I think it would be a fun project to make some clusters and see what happens from there. So with that, you guys, I hope you enjoyed this video on how to make some cute little ephemera pieces for your journals. And let me set some of these out here. You know, this is a project that you can do anytime, anywhere, with anyone. It's a quiet project, or if you don't want it to be a quiet project and you want it to be a noisy project, you could certainly do that too. But in any case, I really enjoyed sharing this project with you today, and I hope you will come back next week where we have something else planned that's going to be exciting and fun. And have I decided what that is? No, but I will. Okay guys, well, I think that that's going to end our video today. My battery is dying and I'm not sure what's happening, so we're just going to call it complete. I hope you guys enjoyed this project. You know, you don't have to use special things, just use what you have. And we will do something exciting next time around, and I hope you'll join me then. But for now, if you're new here and you have not subscribed, please consider subscribing. And if you like this video, please remember to hit that like button and also hit that bell notification where you'll be notified of when new videos are released. My name's Michelle and this is Shell's Bits and Pieces. I hope you all enjoyed the video as I stated, and I'm looking forward to seeing you guys on the next one. So thanks so much. Have a wonderful day. Bye.